You wonder what happened in sports today. Brandon PETRILLI, he got the wave. We talking a lot with bros today. Cracking some jokes the podcast way. Goals on goals, with homers on homers. Tutties on tutties, got moments on moments. Just tune into BSP. Just tune into BSP. Just tune into BSP. Just tune into PETRILLI.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the BSP podcast. I'm your host, Brandon PETRILLI. We got an interesting one. We got some interesting stuff going on the past couple days in Philadelphia sports. Play the song, baby. Play the song. Philadelphia 76ers take a commanding 2-0 lead against the Brooklyn Nets in the first round of the NBA playoffs. It's to be expected, guys. I mean, just watching the games, game 2 was nowhere like game 1, where they pretty much dominated the full game. There's some idiots out there that I see like, oh, the Nets didn't turn the ball over here or there. It could have been close. That's people betting on the spread that are saying that think that game was close, but it just wasn't. Knew it was going to be a 20-point dub all the way. My dad and I left at the third quarter and listened to it on the radio going to my little cousin Nora's birthday party. It was in hand. And then they came out slow in game 2, and the players knew it. The team, Doc, they all knew it. They were the ones turning the ball over. You knew the Brooklyn Nets weren't going to go away. You knew they were going to put up a fight. They still are going to put up a fight, obviously, in the next two games. But they answered well. They responded. They came out of breaks better than they have in the past. They out of timeouts, right, where they normally turn the ball over. They were capitalizing. They were playing defense in the third quarter. They held Brooklyn to 14 points in the third quarter, which was just an absolute game changer. Flipped the script. Where one thing that I took out of this win for the Sixers in game 2 was everybody post game saying, we were only down by 5 at half. We were only down 5 for how bad we were playing. Maxey said it. Doc said it. Tobias said it in their post-game press conferences. They all knew how bad they were playing. And honestly, that's because Joel was getting double and triple teamed, and Harden was not making baskets. He only finished with 8 points, I believe, 8 or 9 points, but he had a bunch of assists. But they knew they weren't playing to the level of basketball that they have been playing. And for them to go, yeah, we're down 5, but that's it for how bad we are. We got this. And it's nice to have that change of that look behind the curtain where as a fan, you think the same exact thing. For how bad you were, just clean up a couple things, turn it around, and that's exactly what this Philadelphia 76ers did. So I'm excited. This should be a sweep. And a couple other things to take away from it here was Tyrese Maxey, 33 points. Tobias Harris, 20 points. A bunch of offensive rebounds, especially towards the end of that game, where you kind of saw that output coming from PJ Tucker in the first game, the hustle points, and Tobias stepped up for you when you needed it. This is probably the best Sixers team clicking right now in the past couple years, where each guy knows their role. Tobias definitely knows his role. Maxey, you could see the way he tries to get very analytical. He's a goofy kid, just like me and you, right? And just the way he sits there and he's like, When we get offensive rebounds, that leads to good things in transition. And he tries to get real serious. It's like, come on, dude. But it's just how this team has fit into their roles. PJ Tucker is coming out in the playoffs finally. He's got to pick and choose his games. Joel hasn't had to carry you for a 35, 40-point night. And he's got that in his bag. He's done it all year. Who's going to be the MVP of the league. He's got that in his bag. It's coming around where he hasn't had those players, those second, third, fourth, fifth options, bench players come in and have roles on this team. And that's what you went out and you got a PJ. You got Daniel House has been, George Niang's, those types of guys where, Jaden McDaniels, these guys can go and they can. Paul Reed finally getting that victory tour that we've all wanted and loved, where they've gelling at the right time. Every time you ask them, the messaging is there and it's hitting. And that's probably been the biggest success so far for Doc Rivers, finally, where that message that he puts and his coaching staff has been putting in each guy's head is really getting through. And you see it. They're all bought in. It's that one word, trust, that they keep saying. Hey, Maxey's like, yeah, Joe, just trust us. Trust us. Keep passing it. They're going to double and triple you. Pass it. Trust us. We're going to make the shots. And, they struggled at a little bit in game 2. They did not in game 1, and it worked out. Finally, he kept trusting. He kept trusting in game 2, and it worked, and it clicked. And the Sixers were up 2-0. Honestly, this series is over in my eyes. It was over from, I don't know, the first half of the first game, to be honest with you. We'll have to have Zach Bosch on the podcast, biggest net fan out there, to break it down a little bit. I text him, I was like, hey, do they wave the white flag? And he's just like, honestly, yeah, bro. It just is what it is. The way that team has really exploded over the past, I don't know, 6 months is nuts, right? And with Harden leaving last year, now Kyrie's gone. They got a good young core. They just don't have that superstar that they did have, and they just can't get over it. You got Cam Johnson dropping 28, great player. He's a 2. You got Malik Bridges going out and balling out in the first half of game 1, but after that, he was quiet in game 1, and only a quiet 20 in game 2, honestly, where you kind of was expecting him, where they were going to make this close. It's if he was going to go down and make some threes back and forth with Harden and Embiid and push that envelope. After that first half of the first game, they've really nullified that. Now you got to keep it going, where you've seen guys like, Toby and Maxey kind of talked about it a little bit, where he's trying to put that extra work in on defense, where he's not a liability when they're switching. So you're putting that length like a McDaniels on him, and they've been locking him up. They found the keys to success. Now you saw the Sixers struggle a little bit with that zone again, and they've went to their own zone to kind of solve those problems on offense or on defense to stop the Nets offense in game 2. And it's working. It's clicking. Doc's pushing the right buttons right now, but where we all were going, right, is that second round series here. And we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully the Sixers can stay healthy through these next 2 games and win these next 2 games decisively up in Brooklyn. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I really am bought into this team where, I haven't been in the past all in, and I'm still not all the way there. I am, but I'm not. I'm not rah-rah. When they get that first big win against the Celtics in the next series, we're gonna feel it a lot more. Is that homer or front runner? No, get the fuck out of here, because I'm watching every game. As much as I want to tell you that I'm watching, only the last quarter of the game, I'm watching the rest of the game too, just not as focused and intense, where I got, a good recurring guest in the pod, Holden's texting in the group chats. Oh my God, they need to turn this around. They're fucking suck. Like, and he's just freaking out. Like, nah, relax. The third period, they'll figure it out. And that's what they did. Now, they've struggled in the past, especially against the Celtics and against better teams. So we'll have to see where that comes down to. But the Sixers are in a good spot right now. I'm very confident in them. They have the good vibes. They have the confidence in them. They have the bench and the rotational players clicking. James Harden was clicking in game 1, not so much in game 2. So that's going to be a little thing to see moving forward, where he had that bounce in game 1. I don't know really what happened in game 2 there. It was just, you just didn't really need him. And you can see he kind of just, I don't know, took the foot off the pedal there, where he's like, yeah, other guys got this, kind of. So you're going to need him. You're going to need him to drop 30 in a game when Joel's getting doubled and he's struggling and getting hacked and guys are all over him. But it's going to be a good one. Let's keep it going. Now, honestly, I wanted to hit that Sixers a little bit, maybe a little longer than I thought it was going to go, but the big man, shout out the boy, Jalen Hurts, baby. If you're watching on the YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify or whatever, I appreciate you. Also, go check out the YouTube too. We're putting out a lot of great videos and content on the YouTube side. So, I mean, yes. Jalen Hurts is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle for the next 5+ years. He is staying. He's locked in. He perennial MVP, almost Super Bowl champion. The guy who's developed tremendously over the past couple of years here. He is the guy. He's gotten the bag, and he did it in a team-friendly way for the Philadelphia Eagles a little bit, and we'll dive into the numbers in a second here, but I'm all in on this contract. I am hyped. I am pumped beyond belief for this Philadelphia Eagles team moving forward as we got the draft coming up in less than 14 days now. Less than 10 days, I think, almost. So we're going to dive into that maybe a little bit more next week, I believe. We'll do a draft preview. I've been red hot, honestly, the past couple of years, picking those top 10 picks all the way back in the WQSU days. So stay tuned for that. Be putting that out next week more than likely. But, this move is a big one. And the thing that is most surprising, right? Maybe not surprising, but the way contract negotiations, especially with quarterbacks, especially with all these players now you see on Instagram and Twitter, even with Slay, right? The back and forth discourse with Slay and his wife, and I don't know, see you, Philly. Well, it was nice knowing you. We love you. It was none of that with Jalen. None, not a peep. You knew they were working on it. You knew, Howie and Jeffrey said it's a big priority for this team this offseason to get it done, but you didn't hear a word. And that's what makes this organization so great. That's what makes Jalen Hurts so great. And that's what makes this deal even more special, where it wasn't that back and forth, he said, she said. It was, okay, we value you. We trust you. You're our guy. Jalen said, yep, I love this organization. I love this city. I love what you've put around me. Give me the pen. Now he's getting paid. It's not like they're like snubbing him in any way, but it still takes the balls to say, yep, I'm all in. I'm committed to this team. I want to be the leader here for the next 5+ years. And it's exciting. It's real exciting because it's nice to have that guy we had. You thought you had it with Carson, right? But before that, when did you really? You went through a nice stretch where, you were going through the Bradfords, the Kevin Cobbs, the Jeff Garcias, the Nicky Foles in there a little bit before he came back and won you a Super Bowl. So you finally get that guy after McNabb, right, where you could really bank on him. You thought you had it with Carson now, and it remains to be seen, but you can see the guy, the head on this guy's shoulders. It's nobody likes us. We don't care. Shout out Charlie Riley. Go check it out at Philly Drinkers, promo code Brendan Petrilli for 10% off. You're definitely going to want one of these bad boys because he's here to stay. He is here to stay, and I'm excited about it. Now, what does this mean for this team, right? It's funny seeing, all the replies and tweets and everything from different fan bases and stuff like that, right? Jalen Hurts. What is it here? 5 years, $255 million extension, right? Now, this is where Howie is the best at it, right? Where he might not always be the best talent evaluator. He isn't. There's people. He's been hot lately, but don't forget. I'm not giving up on that. But this is where he is the best at, and where he does deserve his props is maneuvering these contracts, getting the cap situated, and you look at guys, right? Jalen Hurts 2023 season, $6.15 million. For the 2024 season, $13.56 million. All right, you want to compare that for the next 2 years for another quarterback, maybe who just got another big deal himself in the NFC East, and that's Daniel Dimes. 2023 season, $21 million to the cap. 2024, $45 million to the cap. And it goes on and on. And the way that they've been able to maneuver the incentives, maneuver the guarantee money to be able to keep this team a winner moving forward. This was the deal that Harry and I talked about on Cold One Conversations. Make sure you go subscribe to there also, where Jalen Hurts realizes, I'm that guy. I'm going to get my money no matter what. And he's getting his money. There's no way he's being overpaid in this situation here, where he could have probably went and demanded an extra 5+ a year or whatever, guaranteed. He's not even the top 2 in guaranteed money for quarterback right now. This is where Jalen Hurts says, I want my guys. You went and you got me, my best friend, and you paid him in A.J. Brown. You went and you drafted me a top 10 wide receiver and Devontae Smith in the draft. You went and you got me Dallas Goedert. You got me an O-line. Maybe you get me a running back in this draft and Bijan Robinson. Stay tuned for that. Click that subscribe button. We'll see next week what we're thinking there. But he's went out and they've gotten weapons. They've surrounded him. They've gotten guys on defense, pillars where they can go and plug and play now. And to be able to move that money around is Howie's specialty. And that's what this contract does. It gives them flexibility where Jalen's not getting slighted in the least. Obviously, he's getting a crap ton of money. And a lot of people want to say he's overpaid, and those people are idiots looking at other contracts within the division, let alone the rest of the league. But it's good things to come. It's exciting things to come. Because when you look at it, right, okay, so what does that mean? Can you go and get other guys, right? Well, when you have a lineup of Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, Dallas Goedert, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Cam Jurgens, and the like, all on this team through 2025 or later. I mean, well, you just plug in guys after that. This is all the stuff that I've come back to saying for them in this past season, this past Super Bowl. You don't always have guys at every position. This isn't Madden. You don't have stars and superstars, players at every position. The Eagles have been very, very fortunate, and they've done a very good job of finding and plugging in those guys at the right prices, at the right times, and finding those situations. So now this contract, those other contracts that they have locked up for the next 3+ years, they have the flexibility to go and plug guys in, and 2 first-round picks to go to boat with it. It's good. Life's good. Hopefully they can keep this hot streak going for the Eagles. Hopefully the Sixers can keep it going too. Phillies, it's going to be interesting. I'm sorry I didn't do any vlogs. I know it was weird. It was weird going to the games with the pitch clock, honestly. It was very rushed. I like it watching the games at home, right, on TV, but being at the games, it was weird. Like, you want to go and take a sec to go get food, but the lines are crazy stupid long. Don't even get me started about Dollar Dog Night. If you go and you hit a long line, or you go to take a quick walk or something, or hit a line in a bathroom, you might miss a full inning. That's how crazy it is right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how you can kind of counteract that. And I'm definitely going to be doing vlogs moving forward. It was just a little weird experience going to a couple games and seeing how rushed it was a little bit, and seeing where the players' gripe was in person, where as a fan watching at home, you love it, honestly. But being there, it was definitely something to monitor as we move forward throughout the season. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be putting out, I can't go to this Saturday's game, I don't think, because I'm going to be at Jordan Mailata's thing for the Fanatic autism, Aussies for Autism. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do a vlog for that too. We'll have to see what I can do camera-wise and stuff when we're there. But thank you all for watching. Jalen Hurts, Sixers, play the song, baby. Shout out to 215. Go Birds. Go check out the shirts, baby. Go check them out.